Went walking again today. We saw a sprinkler again. We ran through it this time. Very cute. Let's see. Yeah, today I was kind of working. I looked at my watch, saw notifications about just various things, and one of them really stood out to me. And it was about on Twitter, it was the notification about pickups of badges for Comic-Con. Because today was Wednesday, yeah. Today was the preview night. And I'm missing it. I'm looking around my room right now. I'm looking at all the different things I've gotten from Comic-Con. Got a bunch up there. I'm probably going to do a video tomorrow. I'm actually going to pull a lot of this stuff out and look at it and kind of show everybody what are some of the things I've gotten. I miss it a lot. It was some of the funnest times I've had on a vacation. One, I got to go myself and do what I wanted to do. That's very refreshing. Like, I've done that before, but like, say, like, if you go to the beach, it's like, well, okay, you're at the beach, you hang out for a little while. All right, then what do? Okay, well, you can go shop, but it's not really what I came on vacation to do. Granted, at Comic-Con, you do a lot of shopping too. But I did go and do a lot of, but at Comic-Con, you go and you do a lot of the panels, you get to talk to a lot of people, because you're in line a lot. And you talk to a lot of people, like the first year we went, I talked to a lot of people that was like, oh yeah, this is my second year, or my third year, and some people were like, oh, I've been coming here for 20 years. So I think there's one guy that was like down the line that we were talking to, like a big group of us were talking. He had said, I have no idea if it's true or not, but he had been to almost every single Comic-Con. And he was showing us like pictures of his collection of things he had gotten. He said previously you could just, it's like, I want to go to Comic-Con on Saturday. You pay your parents to drop you off the door. You go get a ticket and go in. Now you pre-order like 6 months in advance. But yeah, he said that he talked about some of the things he had gotten. He showed, like, he had storage units full of stuff, because when the cons were over, they would just start tearing stuff down. He'd be in there and they'd be like, "Can I have it?" And they'd be like, "If you tear it down, you can have it." And he basically would take down the big like displays for companies and stuff, because they were just going to throw it away. And he has a lot of those, and I was like, "Dang!" And they're just in storage units. But I think he said he lived in San Diego, if I'm not mistaken. Can't remember his name though, but he's a really nice guy. Some of the things I do remember that was really people being really nice. We were in line. I was in line to get basically, I stood in line to get into the building, to get into a line to get a ticket, so I could go stand in line to buy stuff at Hasbro. Think about that. So I got in line. So wait, yeah, no, I'm missing a line, because I stood in line to get into the building, to go stand in line to get a ticket, to go back outside the building, because you couldn't stay there. You had to go back outside the building to stand in line, because the doors to the actual sale floor hadn't opened yet, to get in line to get into the building again, to get in line at Hasbro booth. There we are. It was yeah. But after I did all that, and there's this guy and his son was either behind me or right in front of me. I can't remember, but we got the tickets to go to the Hasbro booth, and we were standing in line to get into the building. they were right beside me too, because we just basically, you get your ticket and you just walk on straight down to the line to get to the convention floor. And there's a guy there, and he was like, I was trying to. He was wanting to get into the Hasbro line, but they capped the line, and he didn't get into it. Well, his son, his son was like, looked at, I seen his dad, his son looked at his dad and pointed at the ticket and kind of like, go, do you want me to give that to him? Because his son wasn't going to buy anything. His son was just there with his dad. And his dad said, yeah, if you want. And they gave the guy the ticket. And I was like, I mean, they could have got extra stuff and sold it and been like, nobody ever thought anything of it, but they actually gave it to the guy who was actually, and he didn't know we had the tickets. We were just out talking and everything. He was like, yeah, I come here early to get in the Hasbro line, but they capped the line. I couldn't get into it. And it was just, so yeah, at one point, and we all talked, and the guy was like, here, you want my ticket? And the guy was like, well, no, I don't want it. He even says, like, I don't want to take yours. He goes, no, my dad has one. I was just in line with him. And then I pulled out mine. I was like, yeah, we were in the Hasbro line. So yeah, it was a very, very interesting. I was kind of teed off that day because, yeah, I'm at Comic-Con. I'm teed off because I didn't get to buy something. But they had these packages of the, for Magic the Gathering, there were these black cards for not Commanders, Jace the Mind Sculptor, and all those. Can't remember what they're called. But they had a bunch of those in it, and they were selling for insane amounts of money. So people were getting two, and everybody got two, and everybody, like, 'cause they knew they were selling like crazy, and it was, how was it? I was 3 people from getting, like, to basically, you basically got a sheet of paper and you mark the stuff you want, how many, because they had a limit on most of it, they did, and there were 3 people in front of me, and they announced we're sold out of the Magic the Gathering card sets, and the guy behind me is like, for the day or for the con, because some places they only sell so much per day, so every day somebody has a chance to buy it, and they said for the con. So that means they sold every single one of them by like 9 a.m. The first day. And they did say that's how few they made, and I was like, crap. And I had a ticket to get in line at 8 a.m. So basically, there's so many people there. Some people try to get into there, and it took forever. Because if you're not from California, and like say you're from Florida, New York, or wherever on the East Coast, and all of a sudden there's this purchase on your credit card in San Diego, California for $400, $500, $600. Most people's credit cards are getting cut off. It's just completely like decline, and their card was locked. They couldn't buy anything else. So there are people standing in there talking on the phones. Their credit card says, no, I'm here right now in California. I'm at the cash register trying to buy something. And they're frantic because they don't think they're going to be able to get the stuff. And after about there's 4 or 5 people doing that, they stop selling stuff because they don't know if is it a problem with our credit card machines, what's going on. So what I always did is we'd call our credit card and say, hey, we're going to be in California making large purchases. Don't kill the credit card if the card charge comes from there. Well, the problem is that what you don't know is that the charge doesn't come from California. It comes from Hasbro or Mattel, which their corporate offices, which generally it's their corporate offices. So it's like, oh, they scanned it here, but the charge is put under somewhere else. So, and it's like, oh, locked. And it's like, great. I mean, it happened to me and my wife, I think twice. Mainly because I bought the Ice King micro, basically it's a USB thumb drive of the Ice King, and they had this limited edition one on their website of BMO. These are Adventure Time characters. And my wife got on there online and bought the BMO one. And at the same time, I was buying the one at from the shop. And so we bought that. Those transactions went through. The next time we tried to use the card, it declined. We're like, what's going on? We had to call them. Granted, we had 2 credit cards, so that was good. But the card was declined, and we were like, crap. So we had to call them, and they're like, oh, we locked it because we saw these 2 charges. And oh, man. So yeah, there's a lot of things you don't really think it's going to be an issue that become an issue when you travel like that. What was it? Some of the funny things we saw of just like weird things that you didn't think you never thought would come up. Oh crap. Oh, if you bring your 3DS, the Street Pass things. I have so many Street Passes, it's ungodly. Because I'd always take it and you'd walk through the convention floor and everything, and Nintendo has like this Nintendo room there. And as you're walking through, you get Street Passes. Well, you don't realize, because if you're trying to collect the puzzle pieces and everything, you don't think, okay, I've been walking around for 10 minutes, let me check. All right, there's 100 limit on it. Well, at the time, I think it's more now, but at the time, it's just 100 people you could do. And how long you're sitting there, how long it takes to get 100 puzzle pieces. So you're sitting there, you're holding the trigger down to make it speed everything up. You're like, dun, 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 okay, yeah, give me that, give me. And it's like, I don't want to do it because, now if you're waiting in line, no big deal. But if you're walking around looking at stuff, you don't want to be like this. You want to be looking around. So that's kind of a good, bad issue. Oh man, what are some, let's see. So many people, they don't let you sit down. There's no seating anywhere in the convention center. So when you're going outside, they're like around in the hallway, there's people sitting down and everything. All the time, there's people come by, so you can't sit here. You need to move. And it's after you've been walking around for 2 or 3 hours, standing up, or you've been walking all day long. And it's like, well, what do you do? It's like, there have been times when people like, I've been sitting down and they told me to move, and I'm like, and I look at the woman, and like there's a lady that told me, and I looked at her like, please don't tell me to move, and she smiled and shook her head and walked away. Because I had been there I got there at 3 a.m. that day. That's the day I went to get into the Hasbro line. So I had got there at 3 a.m. sitting outside. I had a chair and everything. Like I had this fold-up chair I used. It's really light, so I really loved it. And so I was in that line, told you about the lines I was in, and then finally got my stuff, and then I carried that, because we stayed at the Marriott right beside the convention center. Take my stuff to the Marriott, come back, start going around to all this stuff, and you don't realize it, and all of a sudden it just hit you, stop, and you start to move again, and you're like, oh God, I am so tired. And you look around like, okay, where can you can't sit inside the actual, like the convention center floor where all the stuff is. If you sit in there, they'll run you up. There's a food court inside there, and there are like 8 tables maybe, not many, but they're always full. And if you see an open chair, like there's like a mad dash for it. Convention food, very expensive. Don't buy it. Like there's a 7-Eleven like 2 or 3 blocks away. Go there, buy a big giant thing of water, carry a backpack, put it in it. Awesome. Let's see. But yeah, that day, but don't sit up a chair inside in that, like the walking area where a lot of the cosplayers are. If you do that, they'll be like, no, you gotta move. But if you're sitting on the floor and you just like, most of the time they'll leave you alone, unless you're sitting in front of like a fire exit or in front of one of the bathrooms or something. Which oddly enough, you'll see a line of people that know each other just going like this, and there's the bathroom door, and they just sit in front of it, and it's like there's like two or three, and you see once somebody walk by and stop and walk, it's like you gotta move, and they look and they kind of look like why, and they're like there's a bathroom, and they look go oh, and because nobody pays attention. A good place to sit is on the second floor. It goes around because you can actually sit there and look outside and everything. Good to sit because the traffic there, foot traffic there is not as bad. But if you're there, you're kind of out of everything. You don't get to see as much. But yeah, Comic Con, awesome time. I really miss it, but we will get to go again. And next time I go, I'm actually going to do a lot of streaming and videoing. I'm going to get I'm hoping to get some really good video equipment together, get some mics and everything, and actually do some interviews and talk to people and actually be big time. But yeah, so yeah, it's just I'm hoping I can do that. But the problem is just me and my wife. It makes it really difficult to do some things because it's like you gotta because I'm the one that knows how to do the video. I'm the one that knows how to do the audio, and my wife's kind of shy. So it's like okay, well I need to set up the audio and video and do all this other and then set up the mics and everything, and then give her the camera and say push this button and keep that on me, and then go over and talk to the person and kind of do the interview and everything. Which I mean, I can do that. It's nothing bad. It's just really difficult to do. But anyways, I've been reminiscing enough. I mean, and I'll be doing that the rest of this week. Really do miss Comic Con, but I'm not. It's not going to be the last one I ever go to. So when I do go back, it's going to be very fun. Hope you had a good day. Mine, pretty good. Talk to you tomorrow.